So I wanted to speak a little bit about ribbis, but not in the lumdish side of the ribbis, because maybe we do learn lumdis here. Kabbalah has a lot of lumdis in it. But what I wanted to speak about was Pashas Mishpatim is always obviously has to do with ribbis. There's many mitzvahs. I heard from many people that there are more Ramazim in this week's parsha than in any other parsha. Because maybe not Kiseitze, with the exception. But if you go through it, you see in the Mefarshim, in the Zohar, when you look at the Zohar, Yisrael Mishpatim is a big, huge fat chelik on its own. As the Idris said, there are a few other Mamarim there, but Mishpatim is major. But I'm only going to focus on one thing for now, and that is ribbis. So first off, why is it called ribbis? Ribbis is mashmei loshin riboy. So Pasha says because you're getting extra money, right? So that's why it's called ribbis. But too much is Bal Taisif. And we learned that from Ketairis a few times. Why is there 11 Samane Ketairis, not 10? Because over Bal Taisif and the Chitzainim Ayaynik from that extra. So therefore we have Ketairis, we have Yud Aleph Samamanim Keneged that extra. So that's just a reason why it's called ribbis. So don't think that it's such a good thing, you're being marbe yama, is vakert, it's you're giving feed to the chitzainim. And that's not what we want to do because it doesn't help us. Question is, in ribbis, I want to ask you a simple question and then, what would somebody rather? I came to somebody and I said, I need a $1,000 loan. So they said, fine, I'll give you the loan, but it's going to cost you 50% interest, right? So it's a huge affair. You're not allowed to charge ribbis, but l'maisa, would you rather the guy come to your house in the middle of the night and steal the money? It's less of an aveira. You see that ribbis is so much more chamor. Why is it like sigzil, not less than being malva beribbis? From the Torah, from the Mefarshim, everything's mashma that malva beribbis is much worse than gzela. So what's the pshat in it? So als pashat pshat. So Mefarshim speak about it. It's not any chiddush that I'm saying. That ribbis pashat pshat is because since you're taking away his life, so to speak, that if I borrowed $1,000 and have a weekly payment of whatever it is, $100. And at the end of the week, I still owe more than I ever borrowed to begin with, right? So you're like taking a bite out of his life. You're like killing the guy because he keeps on paying you and then he keeps on owing you more. That's the avla of the ribbis. So you're turning him into an ani even though he's paying, he's doing everything right. So the Torah doesn't want us to do that to a fellow Jew. By Goyim it's allowed, but to a fellow Yid, you're not allowed to put him in such a matzav that the more he borrows, even if he borrows a little bit, he's going to keep on owing more. You could take as a raya, you go to look at your credit card bill, if you don't pay up the whole thing every month, it's 30% interest, right? And it becomes not shaykh to pay it off because it's not going down, it keeps on going up from the interest and the fees and all the other things. And just a little mushal for it. But, so why does it make it worse than Gezel? So that's one time why it's worse than Gezel, because I stole the money, what's the einish? I get a lav, I get malchus, and I have to pay it back in kefil, shain, I'm done. But ribbis is much worse. Then the other timing that they say is, which I have a shverikite with it, is because since a person is going to give out a loan beribbis, and the guy's going to owe him so much money. I gave the guy $1,000, and every week he's paying me back hundreds of dollars, and his debt is not going down, so I don't have to have so much bitachon for my parnasa. I'm getting it on all the interest payments. So since you're going to be on a low madrega in your emunah bitachon for your parnasa, therefore the Torah asked it. It's a little bit shver. I mean, so what's the difference if I give it to a bank and they pay me a good interest rate than if I give it to another Yid who pays me a good interest rate? So okay, of course, there's I had to ask all those things, not going there. But Lamaisa, I don't understand that time so much, because if you could do it from a guy, it's going to be the same way of taking away your chelik of your emunah bitachon. So I wanted to go through one or two other stages that is brought down that we all have good things in life, right? We have children, we have a house, we have a car, we have food to eat, we have everything. B'schus what are we getting it? Why do we have it? Some people will tell you that it's a matnas chinam, Because schar b'hayal maleka, it's not coming from what you did, that you came to koil on time, right? It's not from that. I don't mean because you're not coming on time, chas v'shalom. I mean, because schar b'hayal maleka, right? So where is it coming from? So the pashtus is that the Rebbeinu Shalom is doing a chesed. Stam, we get a chesed. But so that is one pshat, and that's like b'toras matnas chinam. It's a chesed, you get it, you have it. Other pshat is that you're borrowing you have schusim, you came to learn lamaisa, even if you came late, but it's maisa you came to learn. So the time that you were here, you get schar for it, right? So you're borrowing against that. And lasid lava, you'll have to pay it back. However, that will be, that's not brought down. I'm talking about Rebbe Yitzchak Eizer says it at B'Shem Degoin, that we're borrowing again, we're taking credit against what we have lasid lava, and eventually we'll pay it back, right? So Rebbeinu Shalom never gave any mitzvah or aveira b'hai alma that is not good for us. So let's say the Rebbeinu Shalom was acting the same way we were, right? You needed money, you need a house. So Rebbeinu Shalom gave you the ability to buy a house. He says, yeah, I'm going to give you the ability to do it, but I'm going to charge you ribbis, right? So you're never ever going to be able to pay it back, right? So how are you going to pay for the schar you got b'hai alma, right? So what's going to be the end result? You don't have enough schusim, and therefore it's brought down the dafka that by ribbis you're not zeiche in tchiyas hamesim, because you'll never have enough schusim. You'll never be able to pay it back because you are malva by ribbis. So Rebbeinu Shalom is treating you the way you treated your fellow yid. So I think he's got a good pshat. That's one. And other thing is in the Arizal, it brings down that when a person is malva beribis, so it's taking away from his shin ayin ahirin. What is shin ayin ahirin? Shin ayin ahirin is every person has a certain amount of iris that he gets while he's alive. What's the cheshbon of Shin Ayin? We learned it in Chanukah, the kavanas of Asanisim Shin Ayin. What's the Shin Ayin coming from? As you know, or you should know, that everything that's going in Gimel Rishonim, which is the Chabad, Chochmah Bina Deya, we count it in hundreds. So we have 3 Rishonim, so that's the Shin. And the Ayin is going from the Za, right? The Za Nok, and that goes in tens, so that gives you Shin Ayin Ahirin, which is Keneged, the 10 spheres. Right? So what do these Nahirin give you? These Nahirin give you what's called Havla de Garmi. Havla de Garmi is what a person needs in order, he needs that little drop of what's called Lachluchis in his guf, and that Lachluchis gives him the ability to get up by Tchiyas HaMesa. You see that by Yecheskel, that he found that some is Yeveshus, and what he was able to do, he was able to be Mechaya them. Even though, what does it mean that some is Yeveshes, that they did not have that Havla de Garmi, that Lachluchis from Havla de Garmi, they did not have. And therefore, they were not able to, normally they wouldn't have been able to get up, but Lamaisa, they were able to get up because of this, even though they didn't have the Havla de Garmi, they were able to still get up, he was able to be Mechaya them.
If a person does tshuva from Malabar, does he get it back?
When from the ribbis, probably if you pay back the guy all the interest. That's really what it is. That's the tshuva. So anyway, that's the Arizal, and explaining why we're not zeiche. There's another piece of Arizal, but I forgot it off the top of my head. Explaining why you're not zeiche to tchiyas hamesim. So one is al stahavla de garmi, you don't have anything. The other one, I'm going to put this on pause for a second.